Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone and depending from where you're watching us from. This is Biafra Watchman TV. We are live and we are direct. We are here to bring you the gospel of redemption. And we are here to set the record straight and to speak the bitter truth without fear or favor. If today is the first time of coming across our video and you like the way we are propagating this gospel of Biafra without fear nor favor, please subscribe, like, and share the video to go more viral. All right, a lot are happening. A lot indeed are happening. And for a couple of days now, I've been reflecting and thinking seriously about we Biafrans. You know me, I don't know how to pretend. I hate pretense. I like to say it the way it is. I don't know, I don't care whom might be offended, but so long as I speak that bitter truth, my conscience will be clear. What am I trying to say? With what I don't know who said, Mama Ono who said, I don't know who Mama Biafra said, and with the phone conversation that Orama reviewed, the one she had with Ngozi and the one that called herself Diana. You know, I read a lot of meanings into that conversation, and I am going throughout yesterday. I was going through the comment section, especially people who are following Ngozi. I listen to their broadcasts, the people who are in the media. I check their comment section. Dear friends, let me tell you guys the gospel truth. Let me tell you guys the truth. With this very mentality we have, most people who are parading themselves or people who claims they are fighting for Biafra, with this very mentality they have, man, if who happens to get Biafra now, and we choose to, adopt laws that is somehow, we start considering what the Western world will say. We are so strict to the government of Biafra the laws are so strict to the citizen. Man, if care is not taken, Nigeria that we are running from will be a paradise. I don't know how to pretend. I say it the way it is. With the mindset and with the mentality I see our people exhibiting. With this mindset, if we happens to have Biafra now, you know why I said so? I discovered that we lack political education. Despite all the teachings MNK taught us in Radio Biafra, I discovered that a lot of us never learned anything. No wonder white people said black people are easily distracted. Slightest thing can distract a black man. We forget so soon. Despite all the political education MNK lectured us, sometimes the man will stay 4 hours talking. This little one I'm doing, that is the majority of my video is not up to up to 1 hour self. I get tired. Talk more of somebody who will be live on air, broadcasting sometimes 3 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours. Despite all the whole political teachings MNK taught us, yet Biafrans don't know what patriotism is all about. Patriotism. We don't know what patriotism is all about. And it's unfortunate. Virtually all the things we are complaining about Nigeria is what some people are exhibiting in this. We are only in this fight for Biafra restoration. I'm going somewhere. There are a lot of things I have to touch to today. People heard what Ngozi said in the conversation she had with Adade Oramma, how her contact in Nigeria is federal contact, which is Fulani contact. I'm expecting people who are following this woman to start rethinking what's actually going on. Is this woman truly here for Biafra? This is the question I'm expecting. But like the one that called himself Humble Lion, that fake guy, I know the guy. Not that I know him based on his activity on social media. I know him via his activities on social media. The guy is a guy, man. Me, I know. No need of calling, no need of casting him or saying some things. But when I watched the video, he said that Adade Oramma have played her last card. Adade Oramma have played her last card. And what is that last card Adade Oramma played? By exposing the intentions of Ngozi Orabeze with her partner in crime called Diana. Right there, they said if Simon comes out, they will take a walk. In other words, they will leave the agitation. And these are the people who will come every Saturday to be screaming and shouting Biafra. Instead of this guy to ponder, what? Let me even call this woman to verify from her this thing I heard. How far? They never did. And you are telling me with this mindset these guys have, if we happens to have Biafra, and we don't enact law like Chinese law or most of the countries in Asia, their laws, you want to tell me that Nigeria will not be a paradise to Biafra? Look at the mindset. Look at the mindset of people who claim they are running away from Nigeria. In fact, there is no difference between what we are seeing now and what is happening in Nigeria. Instead of these people to concentrate and be asking her serious questions, even this, that is why I said, I don't just come here to talk for talking's sake. I don't just come to talk here maybe to show myself. I come here to address some certain things and set the record straight. There is one attitude, that attitude that is affecting this our struggle. And funny enough, this is what we are complaining about Nigeria. But knowingly or unknowingly, we are practicing it in this Biafra restoration project. And what is that attitude? We don't hold our leaders accountable. Even now, we are fighting for freedom. And this same thing that is affecting Nigeria. Because from ab initio, Nigerians don't have that habit of holding their leaders accountable. That is why, over the years, the thing have degenerated to what Nigeria is into, the mess Nigeria is into. Because Nigeria, from onset, they don't have this habit of asking questions, holding their leaders accountable. The same thing is what we are seeing in our restoration project. Sometimes I will be asking myself, What are we doing differently from Nigeria? After examining what we are seeing in this Biafra restoration and what is going on in Nigeria, I see no change. According to Tupac Shakur, he said, I see no change. If the reason why we are leaving Nigeria, we say we are tired of Nigeria, is that your freedom, you don't even have freedom of speech. That you cannot, if you try to ask the president or the governor or the local government chairman or anybody in the corridors of power questions, the person will come after you. Or you will see even your fellow Nigerians who are directly and indirectly suffering same thing you are suffering, that made you to ask the people who are in the corridors of power questions. You will see them attacking you. The same thing is what we are seeing in this Biafra restoration project. You will see that the leader, people who are leading us, there are some certain mistakes they are making. If you come out to voice out, you will see people who are fighting Biafra with you will start attacking you, telling you that you are attacking the leader. They will be telling you you are attacking the leader. Excuse me. I know why I am laying much emphasis on this, because if we don't start now to correct this, if we don't start now to correct this impression, then if the only thing that will make Biafra different with this our mindset is that we adopt the kind laws that Asia country adopts. Very strict laws. My friend in China told me that if you are a Chinese and you decide to contest to any political position, to any political post, your family member will summon you, call you for a meeting, interrogate you, tell you the implications, even ask you to think over this thing, over this decision that you are making by joining the politics or by contesting any political post in China. You know the reason why? If you embezzle fund, if you eat public fund, not only that they will buy you, your family, that dent will affect them, in the sense that so long as they are from that family, maybe they want one or two person want to execute a project, they cannot borrow loans again from government. Some certain privileges as a Chinese citizen, they ought to get from government. Because of your misconduct while in office, after you must have been executed or jailed, life imprisonment, your people will be suffering it. That is why politics in China, you must verify yourself. You must confirm yourself. You must make sure that while going into that office, you are not going there to embezzle public funds. The guy also told me, or you are a contractor working for the government of Chinese, and you went for a contract, I want to construct this road. You bring your quotation. After bringing your quotation, they assess your quotation and they disburse fund. After executing that project, first, they will test if the quality you told them, you told Chinese government that this is the quality you will construct. They will test if what you said is what you executed. That one aside. They will also check the fund. If, Anybody doing project, you do project to make profit. But if the profit you make from that project is beyond what normally everybody knows, that if you construct so road, this is the amount of money averagely you will make. If it is more than that, guy, you are going in for it. You are going in for it. If we Biafrans don't adopt this kind of laws, we claim to adopt the kind of Western laws, then see Nigeria we are running away from will turn out to be a paradise. You know why? I am not seeing that patriotism in us now that we are fighting for Biafra. Now, imagine, now that we are fighting for Biafra, that people are falling. People are buying. We are passing through pains. That patriotism is not here. We are not asking people who are leading us in this quest for Biafra question. How much more, we blacks, we forget so easily. How much more when we must have achieved this Biafra? That means we will forget all the whole things, all the whole sacrifice, all the whole pains we've been through while fighting for this Biafra. We will forget it entirely. We will forget it from the attitude most of us are exhibiting today. If we cannot ask our leaders question, now we are fighting for our freedom. Is it when we must have achieved this freedom, we must have achieved this Biafra, that we will start asking questions? Is it when we must have achieved our freedom is when we will start asking questions? It's from now. From now is when we ought to be asking questions when needed. This habit of when you ask questions, they start telling you that you are attacking the leader. No. There is a difference between asking questions and antagonizing. And the leader is supposed to know that when your followers ask you questions, you don't give them answer to the questions. It will trigger antagonism or whatever. People will start antagonizing you. Even it is even important now that we have a committee, set up an independent committee. Independent committee independent committee, and we have hotline. And that hotline, people who will be in this committee, they must make sure their duty is to make sure that any question Biafrans asked there, they must answer them that question. We have to start now to prepare ourselves. If we think that if Biafra comes, magically Biafra will become like all this Western world, that things are okay, their laws work. If we think that once Biafra comes, it will start happening, we are joking. We are deceiving ourselves. Work must be put in place. So we have to have this committee. Now, once you have a concern as a Biafra, or you are seeing something that is not going on well, you call the hotline or you send a message. They will attend to your message. They will attend to your concern. If it's the one, they will relate to the prime minister, will relate to whoever that is in charge. They will relate to the person. Look at the concerns of Biafrans. The person leading will attend to that concerns. If it is the one, they are correcting him. The person in charge will take the corrections and still pass the message, maybe through his State of the Nation broadcast. I receive message, I receive your concerns, I see what you guys said. If you want to say, see the reason why, see the reason why you are doing what you are doing, you give them reasons. If they say no, these are reasons is not enough. You are our servant who made you to be there. Look at how we want you to govern us. Look at the direction we want you. You have no choice than to listen to your people. The ones that make sense. Not everything, not all, not all the things, but the ones you see that this one, even you yourself, you are a human, you have conscience. And for you guys to know that for people to start seeing this thing and complaining, you ought to know that maybe you are doing it that people don't know. But since people have known, you guys to adjust. We have to start now to structure the kind of nation we want. We have to, everything starts now, not when Biafra comes. Everything starts now. We have to work on our mindset. Very important mindset. There's one short video I saw. The guy said the difference between white people and black people is this. He said white people buy for what they believe in. White people buy for what they believe in. But black people buy themselves for what they believe in. Because of YouTube, this thing, I for paraphrase it the way the man said it. White people can go any length buying to achieve what they believe in. But black people can buy themselves in fighting for what they believe in. Do you see the two different things? White people, if they want this freedom, they will go any length, anything that will be an impediment on their way in achieving this freedom, they will make sure they move that thing aside. But as for the black, if they're fighting for something, instead of them to remove anything that will be an obstacle from them from achieving their freedom, they themselves, they will choose to buy at the process instead of buying that thing that stands as a stumbling block. Everything in life depends on mindset. Do we actually have patriotism for this nation, Biafra? If truly we put Biafra first, we ought to know that regardless of how we love the person, anything that has to do with Biafra, both our laws and otherwise are supreme. Are supreme. You know, our laws are supreme. People saw Ngozi clearly violated our constitution, our charter. The same charter, I will keep saying this thing because I have seen that our people lack political education. Most of us don't even know why we are fighting for this Biafra. They only know that Nigeria is not good. Nigeria is treating Igbos bad. That is why we want to leave. That is why we want to leave Nigeria and have our own nation, Biafra. Is that all? So because they are treating you bad, that's why you want to have your own nation. So if by paravention now, if they start treating you well now, you will decide to stay in Nigeria. What do we even take this Biafra for? It's a question that we got to be asking ourselves. How do we even see this Biafra? How do we even visualize this Biafra? To you watching me, what do you see Biafra as? Is this just a male country? How do you see Biafra? Is a question that you got to answer yourself. MNK told us that Biafra is the beacon of hope to Africa. There's one book, I've forgotten the author that wrote the book. He said, in Biafra, Africa died, and in Biafra, Africa will resurrect again. In Biafra, Africa died, and in Biafra, Africa will resurrect again. So what do you take Biafra for? Is a question. We have to start now to hold our leaders accountable. We have to start now to make our leaders to believe that they can't just come up and tell us whatever they want. Other nations that developed, other developed nations you are seeing, the ones they call first world. The reason why ordinary human beings are selfish in nature. Human beings are prone to evil. But the only thing that makes them to be doing the right thing is, one, the laws that guide them, and secondly, the citizens. They themselves knows that there are some certain things they will do. It will not be easy for them with their citizens, because their citizens will what they will face in the hands of their citizens. They will rather not. They will prefer not to even, contest or bring out themselves to lead the citizen. We have to start now to make our leaders know that everything boils down on us, we, the citizens. We have to make them to believe that they can't just sleep and wake up and come out and tell us whatever they want. Because if we don't address this thing, we will take this thing to Biafra. At the end of the day, the purpose in which millions spy for the sake of Biafra will be in vain. No. There's one story I said before. I said, as a teacher, there are some certain schools you will go to teach the students. The principal of the school will call you in his or her office and tell you, see, the students here are very smart and intelligent. These are not like other students. So before you teach them, every morning, before you go to class to teach them, make sure that you, the teacher, prepare yourself very, very well. Because if you just enter class in the name that you are a teacher to teach them whatever you want, they will disgrace you there. They will disgrace you. You will see, they will be correcting you. And there's no disgrace that pass that you go into a class to teach your students and they themselves in return start teaching you. That's the highest disgrace. So for you to do what, you have to prepare yourself. As you are teaching them, you are also educating yourself. This is the kind of student or the kind of citizen we Biafrans ought to be. We ought to educate, we ought to prepare ourselves that people who are leading us, we know that if they come out without preparing themselves to lead us or to talk to us, that what they will get from us, they will even regret ever coming out. We have to prepare ourselves now on this. Without us starting this now, without us preparing ourselves, positioning our mind in this very way, if we have this Biafra, Nigeria will be better than us. Nigeria will be better than us. Everything starts now. Let's change our mindset and our mentality. You are not doing anybody a favor. Because I discovered that most of us, with all this back and front going on, some people sees it that I am doing, what's his name, Ngozi favor. I am doing Ogenkere favor. I am doing Simon favor. I am doing Mazinani kind of favor. You are not doing favor to anybody. Rather, you are doing favor for yourself because you have stake in Biafra. That is why you have to put Biafra first. That patriotism must come first. There's one movie I watched, 24 Hours, an American movie. I'm forgetting the season. Was it either season 7 or season 4? I've forgotten. Something happened. Then the president was somehow in a sober mood, somehow crying. When the pressmen came, either the ADC or the people who are working with the president, they call the president, say, President, the press are here. The pressmen are here. Say, remember, look at what the ADC to the president or the security guard to the president said. President, now you want to go and take questions from the press. Remember, America first, and remember, the world are watching. Remember, the world are watching. Immediately, he said this word, remember, the world are watching. The whole world are watching you. The man comports himself. The man comported himself. Come out and entertain the question very boldly, with all boldness. The president knows that world are watching, and America first, and he wouldn't do something that will make America, the dignity or where world placed America. Because if he comes out to start, showing that he's in a sober mood or something straight or something, something strange or something bad happened, it will send a bad signal to the image of America. He comported himself. So what am I saying? Biafra first. Do you love Biafra, or do you love people who are leading Biafra? Which people do you actually love? Is it the people leading the Biafra or the Biafra itself? Which one do you love? Will you buy for the sake of people leading Biafra, or will you buy for the sake of Biafra? It's a question. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean. I said, will you buy for the sake of the people leading Biafra, or will you buy for the sake of Biafra? And give yourself a genuine answer to these questions. You can't hear where somebody you are following said she has Abuja connection, that once she settled, she will now go to Nigeria and use her connections. You heard her clearly. Some of you are saying it's propaganda. I don't know that. Does it mean that Biafrans are no longer intelligent again? Does it mean that Biafrans are no longer intelligent? Intelligent race whom we are known to be. Even Lord Lugard testified that people from eastern part of Niger area are intelligent. They ask questions that he himself, Lugard, finds it difficult to execute some projects in eastern part of Nigeria. Even when he chose the warrant chiefs, the people are even against the warrant chiefs. They ask questions. There's nothing you will tell them, they will not ask you questions. These are what we are known for. This is our way of life. What has happened to us? What? Biafra is the beacon of hope to Africa. We are not only fighting for the restoration of Biafra for only us or we Biafrans in that damnation called Nigeria. You see, Biafra, as state of Israel is to the Jews all over the world. This is how this Biafra we are fighting for will be the state of blacks all over the world. Our people who we are sold doing slave trade, scattered all over the world, they don't have an ancestral home that anywhere they are in the world, they can take their children, they can say, let's visit our ancestral home the way Jews are doing. Jews in different countries of the world, sometimes they will say, let's visit our ancestral home. They will now travel to state of Israel. This is what black never have. And Biafra is that nation blacks all over the world will take as their state, as their ancestral home. There's one black lady said they themselves who are in US say they are not happy staying in US. Say they are tired. Sometimes if they read the history, how their ancestors came to America, it affects them psychologically. See, that slave trade, if we know what that thing cost them, the trauma, what it cost them. Imagine you grew up, they told you that your great grandfather, look at how he take by you. They have land issue with so people. At the end of the day, at the process of dragging the land, their grandfather they pass this message to you. And every day you are seeing that family that buy their great grandfather. How would you feel? Each time you see them, you say, no, you people, don't make my grandpapa buy. The same thing is happening to them. These blacks they sold during slave trade. Each time they wake up in different countries they are and see white folks around them, they will say, no, go Africa, go carry our ancestors, come here. Despite that, they still treat them anyhow. It affects them psychologically. According to the lady, he said, had it been there is any country in Africa that stand out and develop their place, that they will return to that place at their ancestral home. But they have looked, check all the whole black African nation. Their leaders are horrible. Their leaders are terrible. Their leaders are terrible. Had it been that is a country in Africa that is well to do economically, financially, politically, otherwise, they will return to that place as their ancestral home. But in Africa, no. This is what Biafra represents. After America is known as a rainbow nation because different race, tribe, how will I put it, name it, made up America. The same thing will happen in Biafra because we have children all over the world. The one white who gave birth to us, the one different. Imagine if Biafra comes, they will return back to Biafra. So know the nation you are fighting for. It's not only you are not only fighting for Biafra for people in Nigeria. You are trying to restore the dignity of black man in this world. Because if we get this Biafra and build our Biafra, blacks will have dignity. Blacks all over the world will have dignity. Some people will decide to be returning back. We will develop our place to a point that once you return back, you will have an apartment. Mount skyscrapers. Where our people who were sold during the slave trade, who are tired in different countries where they are, they decide to return back to their ancestral land. They will return back. This is the nation you are fighting to restore. You are not here to please anybody. You are not here fighting for the sake of Ngozi or to protect Ngozi. No. Or fighting to protect, what's his name? Simon or Mazen Nandekan or Ogikeri. No. You are fighting to restore the dignity of man. This is what Britain saw in the 60s. That is why they gang up with other Western world. They told them that another Japan want to emerge from Africa. They all witnessed what Japan did during the Second World War. Because Japan helped Germany, the Nazism. Hitler with his Nazism government. They said if they allow this Biafra to rise, they should know, the Western world should know, and the Arab world, they should know that another Japan have emerged in Africa. That is why they all ganged up against Biafra. They know what we stand for, but it's we that don't know what we stand for. Tell me what they are importing in China that we cannot produce on our own. Go to China, most Igbo people have factories there. Go to different Asia countries. Igbos have factory employing the citizens of that country. Imagine if we have Biafra. What is that thing that they are importing in Nigeria today that if we have Biafra, we cannot manufacture it in our own country? Look at wonders our men did. Look at the wonders our fathers did during the war. They manufacture a lot of things on their own. This Ogbunigwe you are seeing is the missile we are hearing today. This missile is the Ogbunigwe. In the 60s, our fathers built Ogbunigwe, which is today referred as missile. Go to that Ojuku bunker. At the heat of war is when they built that bunker. In a very state of distress is when they built that bunker, Ojuku bunker. We have airports where flights land and move. All these things happen in a very distressed time when shelling of bullets and bombs was raining. Our parents would manage to build all those things. How much more if we have this Biafra? Do you see the reason why you have to take Biafra so serious? Do you see? Sometimes I've lived in Asia. I've lived in different countries in Asia. Sometimes when we are interacting with these people individually, you will know that even we are more smarter than them. But they can produce all these things they are producing. But if we are interacting, we are very, very intelligent more than them. It's just that Nigeria turned us to another thing entirely. Individually, you will be asking yourself, now you will be, sometimes the way they will be reasoning will be even make you get frustrated. Sometimes me myself, I go use Igbo talk to say, okay, I wonder can say produce any no they produce with we are genius. You see, Biafrans, we are genius. Genius, white people, they know. Britain, they know. That is why they just put us in that very tight condition. So that we cannot bring out our best. That best in us, they cannot bring it out. One of my friends, he said his very close friend, the daughter is very, if you talk of intelligent, the daughter Jakuko Masahana. The girl daughter Makatala Akwụkwọ ara na-agbazi the school, ara na-agbazi the government of the country. Beyond Akwampe, say, I want to be a medical doctor. I want to set a record in this country. I want to prove to them that blacks is genius. The daughter is 13 years. Say, I want to set a record here in this country. I want to prove to them, because there is this word they normally call blacks. Once they call you sort of afa the kafampare. Because I want to prove to them that black people are genius. So when they talk of this thing, we get up. And if we happen to have this nation, Biafra, then we need to build it. Biafra is not only for us, so let's have it out back of our mind. And it will be a thing of joy. It will be a life well spent and a fulfilled life that in your time, you are among the people who genuinely fight for the restoration of the dignity of black man in this world. Since they said in Biafra, Africa by, and in Biafra, Africa will resurrect, you happens to be among the people fighting for this Biafra restoration. It's a privilege. Put Biafra first. Biafra first. You are not fighting it for anybody. I expected when they brought out Shatter, I expected people who are following Ngozi to say, Ngozi, listen, so long as this is what Shatter says, this is our charter, this is our constitution. We cannot behave like Nigeria who don't obey their own laws. So long as our law says this, because this law is final. This law is final. From this moment, we seize whatever support we are giving to you. From this very moment, we follow our law, we follow our constitution. It's high time we develop this mindset to know that our law is supreme. Our law is even more than anybody. This is the secret why these nations, all of us are running to go. This is the secret why the nations are what they are today. Their laws are supreme. Their citizens hold their leaders are accountable. Their leaders think if we implement this policy, what will be the reaction of our people? What will be the reaction of our people if we implement this policy? The reaction of people will now be a burden, will now be a concern to them. The question we have to ask ourselves, people who are leading us, the policy, the things they are doing, are they worried about our reaction if they bring it out in public or if they implement it? If they are not worried about our reaction to some of the things they are doing, forget it. We are nothing. We citizens, we failed. We, the citizens of Biafra, failed. If the people leading us can just wake up one morning and do whatever they feel like doing, just know that we have failed. We, the ordinary Biafrans, have failed woefully. Because it ought to give them concern before they do anything. They have to consider us first. If we could do this thing, what would be the reaction of the people? Look at Nigeria. Their politician does whatever they want. They don't even think about the citizen. They don't even care about the citizen. If the same attitude Nigerian politicians are doing, Nigerian leaders are doing, is what we are seeing in Biafra. As Nigerian citizens failed, so also we Biafrans fighting for our restoration have equally failed. That the people leading us can wake up one morning, as Ngozi did, wake up morning and bring out Sharia Bank and ask Biafrans to go and pay money into that without considering this account I want to give these people. What will be the reaction of the people? Did you even ask yourself if Ngozi put all these things, put you following her into consideration? What will be your reaction if she brings out this account, this Tajid bank account, and asks Biafrans to go and pay money, and asks you to go and pay money into the account? She never considered your reaction and bring it out. You still went and put money into that account. Don't you know you are a failure? Don't you know you are don't you know that you are a nobody? You are a complete nobody. If she never considered you before, open that account. Not only that, she still brought another account, FCMB account. Post it again in his X handle. She never considered you again. What will be your reaction? Where must she expose the account she wants you to go and pay money into? Why must she expose that account? She never considered you following her. I'm not talking about your safety again. I'm talking about you as a human being. I'm talking about you with your dignity. She never considers it. She just brought account and paste in her verify whatever X handle and asked you to go and pay money into there. And you foolishly go and pay money. You don't want that to do. There are some certain things there is a way somebody will serve you food. You will know that this person don't even regard you. Some will give you food and then you go and take spoon that place. Don't regard you. Some will even ask you, there is food there. You go and take food yourself. There are some attitudes you say, or will serve you food without water. There are some attitudes that somebody will be showing you. You know that this person don't regard you. This example, typical example of what Ngozi did. Gave you guys accounts. That you see it clearly. Ibrahim Ali. You see the name Ibrahim Ali clearly. She never asked herself, she never think, this account I'm giving Biafrans, that Ibrahim Ali is one of the account holder. What will Biafrans think? What will be their reaction? She never considered all these things, so she just gave you account to go and pay because she know you will not. She knows no. That is why she did so. We have to change our mindset. If all the teachings MNK taught us, we are not putting it into practice, I don't know. Our leaders ought to be somehow, how will I put it now? Our leaders consider at why your job. Ndị leader consider at why your job. You know, we are not difficult people. If we don't put ourselves in this position, we have to put ourselves in a position. Is the name you give your dog, is what your dog will bear. Is the name your dog will bear. So we have to start now. We have to start now. We made these people not higher than us. That all their Lord don't want over us. And to you, that when somebody sees something and complain, you better want to attack. From today, you better change. From today, you better change, because if only Biafra, that the desired aim of fighting for Biafra is not achieved, you are part of it. Because you're supposed to put Biafra first instead of the people leading Biafra. I don't know if the people leading Biafra and then I don't know call Biafra no way. Who do you value more? You value that nation, Biafra, or you value the people leading the Biafra? Who do you value more? You people should stop if somebody ask pertinent question that need to be addressed. Attack. You are attacking the leader. You are fighting the leader. For what? Do you think that nations that are today we are running to go to, do you think they built that nation out of pretense? They never built the nation out of pretense. They built it out of proactive actions. If you fail, go when the need fail, step aside. Why? Can't you also? That is the thing. So we have to start now to change. We have to start now to change our mindset. Very important. In conclusion, this Biafra you are fighting is not just about eastern part of Nigeria. You are fighting a nation for the restoration of a nation that will restore the dignity of a black man in the world. That brilliant today. Have it in mind that if Biafra is restored, it will be an ancestral home to blacks all over the world. It will be an ancestral home to blacks all over the world. The way state of Israel is an ancestral home to all the Jews all over the world. That is the nation you are fighting to restore. You are fighting to restore a nation that will be a beacon of hope to black people, where science and technology, other African nations and world at large will emulate from. Our fathers did it during the war. They refined oil by themselves during the war. They did a lot of things by themselves during the war. Imagine in that age, consider what will happen today. Virtually in different countries of the world, Biafrans are doing wonders. People who are in the corridors of power, science and technology, they are doing wonders. If we restore this nation, Biafra, fully, these men will come back and build our place. You are fighting a nation that will give your children hope. Know the kind of nation you are fighting to restore. And also, our constitution is supreme. Whatever our charter says goes. Regardless of how you love the person, you can't twist it to suit. You can't bend constitution to suit somebody. This is the problem of Nigeria. You heard what our leader MNK said. So why is it that whenever it comes to his case, Nigeria started to changing and twisting everything? They will start trying to twist the whole narrative. So the nation we are fighting to restore is the nation that will be a hope to Africa. We all are celebrating, what's his name? Ibrahim Traore. We are celebrating him because the guy is doing doing wonders. The guy is doing what Biafra. Even it's just Biafra own is that is for the world. We have all it takes. We have the resources. We have the brain. We have everything to make our nation a prosperous and a wonderful nation. Are you not tired of carrying load of your family people? Is this how other nations do? Is this how other nations do? You will take care of this person. You will take care of this person. You will take care of this person. Every month you will be sending money to Nigeria to help this person, to help this person. But if it happens to build Biafra, if it happens to restore Biafra, everybody will take care of himself because work all day, all day. All these things people are struggling to to build houses and own cars and all these things. Here for basic amenities in other country. While working, you can go and buy a house on mortgage. With your wife and your children, your kids. In one of the skyscraper, you buy an apartment there. As you are working, they are paying you salary, the mortgage will be deducting the money until you pay the apartment you buy. If not, this life is very easy. I just more why I stress on nothing. We are just stressing ourselves from nothing. For nothing's sake. You're supposed to, your brother, your brother na arụ nke a na-amaghị nọọsụ ego onye ọ na-eburu mkpa n'isi onwe ya onye ọ na-eburu wahala n'isi onwe ya. Not somebody will be lying because this person is doing fine. Everybody will now rely on you. Before you know it, before you know it, it's wrong. But when we have a job, everybody is chief on what you plan your life. Plan your life. People under pressure. This life, that's why in other nations they live longer. But our own stress, no road in Nigeria, no even road, no light, energy that you know that is the commonest thing. They don't even have energy. Imagine our land, we have a fertile land. But let's say food commodities, very expensive. Even to feed is a problem. If we have Biafra, all these things will be minor. People into agricultural sector. And they may not supply, even they will be exporting food. Are you not tired of stressing yourself? You know that they're tired. Why can't you remove your ego, bend the other, catch all this Biafra and take only one as weak? Do you think that what we are living is life? Look at people back home. When you know at the age you need to due to stress and the hardship and everything. Before, let's not forget this video here. In conclusion, I want you guys to watch this video. These are the people, their ancestors, were sold during slave trade. They now trace back their origin to Africa. According to DNA, they discovered some of them were from Nigeria, while some were from Ghana. You will watch the video. You will see from the point which their ancestors left the shores of Africa. They called it the point of no return, journey of no return. According to them, you will hear that, like I said, this slave trade, their ancestors, our ancestors that were sold during slave trade, their offspring, if you know psychological trauma, this thing is dealing with them, man, you will take this Biafra agitation serious. You will take it serious. You will watch. They trace back their origin so that they will touch. You will see they match sand to connect with their original ancestors. You have to take this Biafra agitation serious. It's high time we take this Biafra agitation serious. There are millions of people, blacks all over the world, who are looking up to us. You will see Abike Dabire. One thing about these people is he's talking about how people in diaspora, She's calling them, people in diaspora should come back and invest in Africa. Tell me who is in his or her right senses that will invest in Nigeria. The woman, she has no passion. She has no feelings that our ancestors were sold to unknown destination, and their children, great, great, great grandchildren, decided to trace back to where their ancestors came from. And look at her, Abike Dabire, talking about how they will partner and come and invest in Africa and in Nigeria. She shows no signs of remorse. No sign of remorse. That look at inhumanity to man our ancestors did, because it's quite unfortunate that in the history of mankind, it's only black nation sold their flesh and blood into slavery. And we are still witnessing it today. We all heard the case of Libya, how some young guys will come, pick up young girls in the name of taking them abroad. When they get to Libya or Morocco, they will sell them. We are blaming our ancestors for the ones they did. In this 21st century, some people are indulging in such acts. As a Ghanaian man who claims to be a burger, if you are indulging in this act, I pity your generation, not even you. I pity your generation. Look at the people our ancestors sold. They've traced back to Africa, where they originally came from. And you in 21st century, you are selling your own to go into prostitution in Arabic nation. May God have mercy on you. No long talk. Mona watch. I greet you all. Peace and love.
To the motherland, the journey can only be described as an experience of a lifetime.
Cares. Maybe it's Barbados, maybe it's Belize, maybe it's Jamaica. They don't, or maybe it's Lisbon. They don't know where they're taking them to.
Walking the slave routes to the point of no return and seeing other relics of the slave trade era, from cannons, slave cells, and a visit to the Akran or Badagry. These diasporans have literally imprinted their feet on African soil, thereafter walking through the door of return. This symbolic walk was part of activities for the 2019 Diaspora Festival, Badagry. The motive of the Diaspora Commission is to show the world the limitless opportunities in Nigeria, its beauty, and the warmth of its people.
And one of the ways to get it done is working with any African, wherever you are in the world. If you don't get involved in developing Africa, then the world will still look down on you. I think that is what I saw here. And that is why I'm glad that our brothers and sisters from the diaspora are coming here. And as they're coming here, they're being led to what they can do in and for Africa, in particular in Nigeria here. It's a land of opportunities.
Dr. David Anderson, who is the leader of the group, says the identity crisis faced by Black Americans and others around the world can be resolved by tracing their roots.
I keep coming back because it inspires me, and I keep bringing other people back so it can inspire them and educate them so we can build bridges of reconciliation between the continent and the diaspora.
I discover a little bit more of who I am, and it's just awesome. I just love the culture, I love the dress, I love the food, I love the people.
From what would have been journey to an unknown destination 400 years ago, as slave ships would have been waiting at this port here in Berefu off Slave Island, is today a reference point and a history lesson.
The message by the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, as it opens the door of return for the third time, is for the world to come to Nigeria and experience history